Hello, Stephen. This is Dave from ChiefTutor.com. Well, thanks for sending in your plan file as well as sending in pictures. That was just great. So I really could understand what you were trying to do. So looks like you built the majority of this roof correctly, which is very nice. This part and this part and this part look good, and this part looks good as well. We just wanted to add this gable here, maybe plop a window in it, make a gable wall, finish off the gable ends to make sure those walls are generating correctly, and then build a proper porch. Okay, so one of the questions you had is how come you're having this double black line? That is kind of hard, and it is not something you can click and catch to. If I were to hit next and next and next on the keyboard, it would never find it. Yeah, this is Chief's way of telling us that there's a problem with this roof. That this roof is cutting into this boundary. Now this is our porch, right? So this porch, if I were to double click it, it would tell me that this is the height set to that porch. And it's saying that this roof is cutting through there, or this roof is cutting through that porch line, thereby giving you those lines. So the first initial thought is I could try to pull this back and it would get rid of it. But even if I have to pull it over and it shows it in there, it's okay. We can turn those things off. In the layer display options, your active layer displays, it's also found up here in the icons, active layer display. You can go down here to where it says ceiling break lines and just turn them off. And that'll go off forever. So you never have to worry about it. Ceiling break lines are turned on for the purpose of just letting us know as chief users, hey, we might have screwed something up with the roof here. I need to fix it. Okay, so let's take a 3D view. The first thing I've noticed is that we have a porch here. And see that base molding that's in there? We're not supposed to have that. So I'm going to select my arrow key, double click into the porch area, and I'm going to assign it as a porch because that's what it is. Click OK. And thereby it takes all the settings of a porch and builds it up for us, like a slab, no roof, things like that. So we can see it really did a good job for us. The next thing I can see is we can see that this roof is being cut off because this roof continues. Okay, so every time you have one roof in Chief that crosses a wall, this wall won't build correctly if this wall is crossing it. So I see I have a cut mark here and a cut mark here and a cut mark here. So I'm just going to control drag this wall or this roof out a little bit. And you notice that that generates pretty good, but still I have this bit of roof left to deal with. And on that side as well. Well, since this roof overcuts it, you don't actually need this roof. So I can go back up to it and delete it altogether. And thereby it generates now those attic walls more accurately. Now we don't have an attic wall here because we started here one, but it's still being cut off by this roof. So again, I'm going to pull it back. And I'm going to use control to pull it back and get it about there. And Chief starts generating that attic wall right up into the side of it, which is really nice. Okay, so now let's build the gable roof here. Now using that same concept, we're going to assume that we want this wall to be that gable wall, which is this wall here. We're assuming that this wall and the wall that the door is lined up. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to build that way in Chief. But we can assume that those are the two are the same. Well, actually, the more that I look at it, it seems like maybe this one is a little further out than that one. So let's assume that. Yeah, okay, so let's build our own specific attic wall that doesn't sit on this wall here, but it's on its own independent wall. Okay, so that's easy to do. What we want to do is we're on the first floor. We want to go to the second floor. We want to reference the first floor so we kind of know what's going on. So I'm going to use my reference layer to sets. And then I'm going to take my wall tool, my exterior wall tool, and I'm going to draw a gable. I'm going to draw from about there to there. And it says, hey, you've created a wall on the attic floor. Are you sure you want to do that? Just say, of course I'm sure. I'm Dave. I do what I like to do. Hit spacebar, double click the wall, and simply change it to an attic wall. And then click OK. Now what I've done is I've created an attic wall on this plan. So if there's a cutout in the roof, it will generate that attic wall. So that's the next step, is we're going to cut out the roof. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to just use a CAD tool, CAD box tool, let's say. And let's say I want it from here to, I don't know, to about there, this CAD box tool. And I'm sorry, did we line those two walls up? We ended up doing that. don't want to do that, right? We want to pull it out a little further from that wall. Let's do that. So now I got to pull my CAD line out from there because I don't want, obviously I don't want to cut this wall anymore. I want to cut this wall. So I'm just going to kind of cover it up the best I can with my CAD line. Saying I'm liking this, and it's probably going to be about there. I'm going to take my CAD line, open it up with that yellow rainbow magic tool there on the square. And we're going to call it a hole in roof slash ceiling. Hole in the roof. Click OK. And thereby it creates a hole in the roof. It says, do you want to turn that hole into a skylight? No, I don't. I just want to click OK. And go to my full overview. And now I've created a hole and it's put my attic wall through the roof, which is nice. Now I simply need to build some more roof planes. So I'm going to start with the roof plane here. I'm going to drag here and go this way. And I'm going to drag here and go this way. I'm going to say this edge hit 2 for conjoin to this edge. Now my roofs are really awkward and different sizes and they're going all over the place. This one looked like it almost had it right. This one here. So I'm going to assume that this one's right. So I'm going to take this one and say, yeah, 142 is where I want it to start. And I see it's an 8-inch pitch. It might need to be lowered, like a 6 or something. But I'm going to copy this. I'm going to make that 6 and call it a day. This one I'm going to do the same. I'm going to make this 6. I'm going to lock it. And then I'm going to paste that 142 in there and hit tab. And then bam, creates my roof down below. And again, I'm going to have to reconnect it. So I'm going to select this edge, hit number 2 on the keyboard and select that edge. And thereby creates a little bit better of an arch. Now I still can't see it because it's behind the wall. So I'm just going to tell this roof to come out a little further. And tell this roof as well to come out a little further. And I might need to still adjust those roof planes, but you're starting to get the idea. So there's our roof plane. So let's go back to our floor plan. We'll go back to level 2. Look here, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. That's kind of where we want it to be. So we just need a window in there. And do we need the other piece? Yeah, so let's bring it all forward because it looks like it doesn't need much room there. It looked like there wasn't a lot of room on the front. Okay, so I'm going to bring this wall forward. And this wall, I'm going to bring these roofs probably to here and to here. I'm going to bring my attic wall maybe to about there. And then I want to see my roof opening. And I don't know if that was on the first, oh, yep, sorry, it's down here on the first level. So I'm going to have to move that along as well so I can capture the wall that's there. And if it has to be a little bit bigger than the wall itself, that's fine too. I'm just going to adjust it right over that wall so it gets a little bit better. Now I notice that these need to be down more, so why don't I shift select them both and change them back to an 8 pitch. And that might give us the distance that we need to get. And then it needs to come down a little. I can either drag it down or I can, move it down with this tool where I could say move replicate. Let's try that. We'll go down 12 inches. And I want to go down a little bit more. Let's go down another -12. That's pretty much where I want it. I'm going to keep on going. Whoop, grab the wrong tool there. Here, -6. There we go. And now I'm really starting to go in. And you can see the opening is now too big for this end as well as that end. So I'm going to have to bring the opening back a little. I'm going to reconnect these two ends. And then you can start shaping this as well. We can shape this down to here. And we can shape this guy down to here. And that just finishes off a little nicer. Go back to the floor plan just to kind of make sure they're straight. I notice one's kind of going crooked, but right there is good. This one really went crooked, so I'm going to go, yeah, let's go right about there. And drag that over like so. Go downstairs. I'm going to cut back my opening a bit. Yep, something like that. So I'm starting to generate that piece right on around. Now, let's just stick a window right in. No big deal. Plop the window down. Double click it. And let's go fixed glass. And I don't know, what was it? 48 wide or something? Shape, arch. We can call it round top. And We can even do these lights, radio lights, right? Centric. Oh, that's what we want. Nope, that's about right. Something like that. And the only thing showing through is the existing roof. That is this roof here, which we can cut that around as well if need be. So this is the roof that is showing through. And what I can do is I can go back to my cut tool that I've cut with, and I can just kind of manipulate it where I want. I'm going to cut the cut tool here to go back to about there. And thereby it cuts the roof around a little bit better. And of course I can always combine the edges like I did there. So what I'm doing is selecting one edge, hitting 2 on the keyboard, and select the edge I want it to join to. So I'm going to select, oh, looks like it did, and it just kind of lost track there. Sometimes it won't if there's another piece of the puzzle open. In other words, I got to get this just to be one straight line all the way to here. So now that that's one straight line, it should connect much easier now, because if it's trying to connect multiple edges, it does get confused. So I'm going to select that, hit number 2, and select this edge. And thereby tightens it up some more. And so we can see as we're progressing right through, there's our window, there's our porch, there's our arch, and what else do we need? Let's go back to this guy. It looks like that's already built correct. You just need to add a window. We can change the height of a window, make it look more like that. Everything else seems to work okay. You just need to put our pieces in for the porch, but I think we're getting it. Yeah, I think we're getting it indeed. I believe it's the way we want to go. So hopefully that helps. Messing with roofs here at ChiefTutor.com. Thank you so much for your submission. Hope this helps. And please let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. All right. Talk to you later.